This is an ancient Sumerian tablet which details an ancient goddess's journey from the heavens to the netherworld. Part 2. So as always, we're going to translate one of the lines from this tablet from Sumerian into English and talk about the grammar. So this is actually the very first line from the myth Inanna's descent to the netherworld. So in Sumerian it reads, An galta ki galshe neshtu ganinan gub. So getting straight into it, so we have An galta. So An means the sky, Gal is an adjective which means great, and finally here we have Ta, which is a case ending which means from, as in from somewhere. Now, as we know from previous videos, An can mean An as in the sky god An. It can also reference the sky. It can also reference the direction of the sky, so above. So we would translate An Galta as from the great above. Now we have Ki Galshe. Now this is exactly the same as the first section, except it's the opposite. So Ki making reference to the earth or a place or the direction of below. Gal is the adjective meaning great, and She 3 is the terminative case marker, which you'll know from previous videos, marks motion towards something. So we would translate this as to the great below. Okay, now what we have here is actually known as a compound verb. So we have Neshtug and Gub at the very end. So this together means to set the mind. So we'll talk about what's going on in between this as well. So this is Neshtug, and then Gani is what we're going to focus on here. So we're looking at this possessive pronoun here, the third person singular, Ani. So it's either his or hers. Now context will tell you whether it's his or hers, as Sumerian doesn't have gender. So context, obviously this being about Inanna, the goddess, we can translate this section, Neshtagani, as her mind. Then we have Na. Now this is a very interesting prefix. So this has been referred to here as the affirmative epistemic modality. But in simple terms, it's basically something that is involved in a handful of Sumerian mythical compositions, and it's essentially meaning indeed something happened, or it did definitely happen. So as you can see in the highlighted portions, we have Namudu, so Na again, do meaning to build, and then at the bottom, the translation, he did build it, or you could translate that as he did indeed build it. So it's a sort of emphatic emphasis, used in mythological compositions. So then we have An, so we're just focusing on the N here. What this is marking is the third person singular animate subject of the verb. Now the verb is here, gub. So just very quickly I wanted to point out that the verb gub actually means to set or to stand, and as you can see here on line number 13, it actually evolved from a pictograph of a foot, which is really interesting. So with all this in mind, the final translation would be, from the great above to the great below, she indeed set her mind. Thank you so much for watching. As always, do let me know what you want to see. Thank you very much for watching.